Watch Dogs Legion is broken. Yeah, sorry to report, but yeah, that's the case. Now, I don't even need to say much about this. Ubisoft has already come out and acknowledged that there have been many crashing issues pretty much across everything, all platforms, PC, Xbox, consoles, everything. And it is a ridiculous oversight to me at least. How is it that Ubisoft still feels comfortable to ship these games in these states after what happened with Unity? Ubisoft has not learned its lesson. Ubisoft keeps making the same mistakes. And here right now I'm just talking about the broken port. I am not even going to touch about the microtransactions because I feel like I should dedicate a separate video for that. Because it deserves a very separate video for that. Because yeah, it's pretty crappy. So here what we have is the game is crashing left, right and center. For some people it has crashed in double digits. For me, I have personally experienced about 19-20 crashes. About 9-10 of those crashes I caused them myself because I was trying to figure out why the crashes were happening. Because that's kind of the base instinct I have. If I run into a bug, I kind of try to isolate it. You can thank Ubisoft for that, for putting that in my head. Because I worked there. So yeah, so I have kind of figured out what's happening, at least for me. For me, the game seems to crash only on two menus, and that is the tech menu, the tech tab and the operative tab. These are the two tabs that are usually causing the crashes when I'm in those. Other than that, actually I haven't experienced a single crash outside those two menus. So that is at least on my end. Now people's experience may vary because I have only recreated like 9 or 10 crashes like this. So usually you need to do more than that. And plus we are talking about crashes on multiple platforms and I have only done this on a PC on a very specific combination of hardware. So there is that as well. But the crashing issues are very widespread. And I would be fine if crashing was the only issue. Now you might have, if you are an older subscriber to my channel, you might remember that I made a video on Horizon Zero Dawn where I lambasted the game because of its atrocious performance and horrible optimization and also crashing issues. Like it was crashing randomly at any given point of time. Like it was crashing during gameplay at most times. Now Watch Dogs Legion isn't as bad, but it still doesn't excuse the fact that it is crashing and it is crashing significantly enough that many people have now reported it and Ubisoft had to acknowledge it. And this is my question to Ubisoft. And when I say Ubisoft, I don't mean the developers or the testers, because I'm pretty sure that at least a few testers would have run into these crashing issues. They have to have run into these crashing issues. This can't be, what can I say? This can't be a coincidence. They have to have run into these crashing issues. So that means that everyone knew that these issues were present in the game and they still released the game. And it just seems like Ubisoft hasn't learned its lesson from Unity. And it wasn't just Unity that was broken. Many people say Assassin's Creed Unity shipped broken with all the faces and stuff. It wasn't just Unity that was broken. If you look at Syndicate, Syndicate wasn't better. For a major part of Syndicate's life cycle, the anti-aliasing option on the PC was complete crap because you couldn't turn off FXAA even if you had a faster hardware, and the image was always blurry. Even though that was not the case with the base build of the game. I don't know why they had decided to add that, but that was not a bug, that was more of a feature. But then there were other issues. For example, in one of the DLCs, in the last Maharaja DLC, for me at least, I could not play the DLC for like a few months. Then I figured out what the issue was, and then I kind of had to bypass the bug myself. I got no help from Ubisoft support because they saw my hardware and they were like, yeah, we don't support mobile GPUs, so yeah, we can't do anything for you. We can't help you out. So I had to figure it out on my own. And I did that. The reason why the game was, there was a problem with the English voice pack apparently. So what I had to do was switch the language play the first mission, then come back and the game works fine. But if you don't do that, then by the time you get to the fourth mission where you have to steal the diamond, the prompt doesn't even show up. That was the bug. And even before that, when the game was released at launch, there was a bug where apparently we were supposed to take a politician's wife in a carriage to some place and come back with her. And if we didn't reach her house by the time she actually stops talking, then the game goes into an infinite loading loop. So what you had to do was you had to rush to her house and make sure that she doesn't stop talking and that you reach her house before she finishes with her voice lines, so that the game doesn't go into an infinite loop of loading. So these issues have been present throughout, and these issues have been present sometimes for months after launch. Origins had its own issues. Origins, the CPU optimization was horrible. Odyssey improved on it a bit, but it was still not good enough. Even in Odyssey, sometimes inexplicably, the frames would drop. And of course, the CPU load was enormous in Odyssey as well. So this is nothing new. In Watch Dogs 2, you had memory leak issues which were causing random shutdowns of the game. You had memory issues that essentially meant you cannot play the game properly on an 8GB card. So on an 8GB RAM system. You needed at least 12 gigabytes to run the game. Because even on the lowest textures and all that, the game would still stutter while driving if you didn't have that specific amount of RAM. So every single game that Ubisoft has come out with have had some or the other major technical issues. This is nothing new for Ubisoft. And this is nothing new for Watch Dogs. And so looking at this, I expect similar sort of things from Valhalla as well. Because the reason why I bought Watch Dogs Legion and Assassin's Creed Valhalla, because I want to put content out on my channel. Because I am not a particularly creative person. The way I am learning things. I'm learning things as I go along. I'm learning how to pace my videos properly, how to, make the quality better, how to make it more interesting. I'm learning these things. So the best way for me to do things is to actually make sure that the videos I upload are early enough so that people can come here and I can get some sort of a feedback out of them. That is the only reason why I bought these games day one and even pre-ordered Valhalla. That is literally the only reason. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bothered with these games like a month after launch. Because that's usually the time Ubisoft takes to fix these things. And at this point, I just find it unacceptable. And I have huge respect for the people who work at Ubisoft. The developers, the testers, it's not an easy job. Especially with the current crisis going on, people working from home, efficiency is going to be down, no matter what people have to say about it. I respect them for what they are doing. And I do not think it is their fault. I think it is the fault of someone else who rushed the game out. Who didn't have the balls to take the decision to actually delay the game. Like Cyberpunk did. When you delay the game like that, yes, you do encounter a lot of financial issues, but at least your game wouldn't be broken at launch and your consumers wouldn't have to face these sort of issues. So yeah, that's all I had to say about this. I kind of feel sorry that everyone is now, blaming testers and all that, because that sucks. Being like an ex-tester myself, it kind of sucks. But yeah. I think people are blaming the wrong people for this. If you want to blame someone, blame the higher-ups, not the people who have, poured their blood, sweat and tears into this game. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say about this. If you do end up liking the content on my channel, then press the like button. I would understand if you end up disliking this video. This is a rant after all. You may not like this. I understand completely. But do keep this in mind while you're buying the games. Unless and otherwise you are trying to do something like me, I would suggest please do not buy the games. Like buy these games in December when there is a sale or something. Like on a Christmas sale, go buy then. Don't buy these now because they are going to be horribly optimized. They are going to have bugs and everything at launch and it's not worth it. It is not worth the experience. Like right now, I am kind of regretting buying these games and spending my money there. I am regretting it. Yeah, so that's basically all I have to say about this. Do subscribe to my channel if you like my content. There is more content coming because, as I said, in the open gameplay, I didn't really face any issues, so I'm just focusing on that now instead of changing operators. So yeah, keep stay tuned to my channel because Valhalla is also coming up on my channel. That is November 10th, so 9 days away at this point. In fact, I would say 8 days away because it usually launches at like midnight. So if you are someone, so some of my audience is from UK and US, so technically you guys will be able to see videos from me on 9th because I will be preloading the game. So yeah, stay tuned for all of that content, and I want to know what you think. Do you think I'm kind of being overbearing and I should expect these issues and it's my fault? Or do you think we should hold Ubisoft accountable for these messes? Do let me know down in the comments below, and I'll leave you guys with it. So, peace.